Why is cutting people off quickly a red flag to you?
For me, it came from like my motivation for doing it. Because at a certain point before, like I had processed my own trauma in relationships and spent time with myself and knowing what I want and what I need, I was cutting people off as like almost like a trauma response. Like I felt threatened and I was just like, nope, I'd rather just not deal with this in the past. But I think finding that balance between, okay, like this is a situation that feels familiar to me based off what I've dealt with in the past versus like, oh, hey, I just don't want to invest or try to get to know this person. Because I think everyone deserves a little grace in certain scenarios, right? I think finding that balance between like, okay, I'm responding out of trauma versus like I'm being informed by my trauma.
Welcome to Plan for Keeps, where dating is a mess, but we keep it moving. Today we have Cayla.
Hi.
Cayla, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
All right, tell me what your age, tell me what you do, tell me one red flag, and then one pet peeve.
Okay. Hi, I'm Cayla. I'm 27 years old. I work in the healthcare field. One red flag of mine is that I really don't play. Like once I see something I don't like, I'm really quick to leave somebody alone.
Okay.
And a pet peeve of mine is inconsistency.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's a really good pet peeve. Okay. When you say you don't play, like I know you say you just leave people alone. Like what does that look like? Like how fast? How is it like super fast or?
Yeah, kind of. So for me, I date intentionally. I'm not dating for fun. Dating should be fun. But honestly, I'm ready for partnership. I want my husband. So like once I see a quality or a trait that's a part of my non-negotiables, I am quick to have a conversation and be like, hey, I don't see this moving forward, but I hope you have a great life. And I genuinely mean it, but yeah.
How do you think that's helped you? Do you feel like you're not giving it a chance to see just why they may have done what they've done? Or do you feel like just cutting it dry, that's working for you?
Honestly, it's working for me because I don't cut off about things that are like arbitrary.
Okay.
Like I'm always open to a discussion or a conversation if a man is like, hey, like, what's up? Or what did you see?
Yeah.
But you just have to be sure you're ready for that conversation because if you ask me, I'm going to tell you. I'm very direct. And honestly, it saved me a lot of time. It saved me a lot of games. So I just kind of prefer it that way.
That's what's up. Yeah. Okay, one more question. You said you're open to a conversation, but you cut off really quickly. How many guys normally will come back and ask you, what did they do wrong? Or they normally don't, and it's just really easy to cut them off?
Normally they don't.
Okay.
A lot of men don't have that emotional maturity to have those types of discussions, especially the ones that, get cut off for whatever reason. So I have had it happen a couple times, but most of the time they might say they're fine with it or say we can still be friends. That hardly ever happens. That's more of a rarity. Yeah, they try to spin the block or take on another date or, whatever, what have you.
Got you. Okay. Why is cutting people off quickly a red flag to you?
Right. And that's a fair question. For me, it came from like my motivation for doing it. Because at a certain point before, like I had processed my own trauma in relationships and spent time with myself and knowing what I want and what I need, I was cutting people off as like almost like a trauma response. Like I felt threatened and I was like, nope, I'd rather just not deal with this in the past. But I think finding that balance between, okay, like this is a situation that feels familiar to me based off what I've dealt with in the past versus like, oh, hey, I just don't want to invest or try to get to know this person. Because I think everyone deserves a little grace in certain scenarios, right? I think finding that balance between like, okay, I'm responding out of trauma versus like I'm being informed by my trauma.
Got you. So I think I misunderstood you in the beginning. So tell me what's the difference between what you're doing now versus what you did in the past? Like when you said now it's more informed versus a trauma response in the past.
Yeah. So in the past when I was dating, because I dated a man for 3 years. Yeah. Ooh, girl, that's a whole nother story. I dated a man for 3 years. And then when I was single again, I've been single for the last 5 or 6 years, like very intentionally. And I date, but in the past, it was like, I don't want to open myself up to that like vulnerability of letting a man like show up for me and like letting a man be like that protector provider role. Cause I'm like, I'm doing good by myself. Like, what do I need you for? I'm good. Like, and that's more transitioned into like appreciating the season of my life, because there'll never be another time in my life like this where I can focus on my wants, my dreams, my ambitions. Like I don't have children. So I'm appreciating this time.
Yeah.
And using the trauma to inform me and saying like, hey, I've seen this pattern before and I recognize that pattern, versus like, oh, I just don't want to be vulnerable with you because I'm scared.
Got you. Okay. So before we dive into your crazy dating story, I want to know, in the 3-year relationship, what's one thing you look out for before you even start dealing with somebody? Like as far as even the dating phase, because it sounds like you might be out here dating, but you're not dating the person very long.
Yeah.
Am I right?
You're pretty right. I generally lately it's been like a 2-date kind of thing. Usually by the second date, I can kind of tell if it's going to be something I want to continue to feed into or not.
Okay. It's not bad.
But your original question was,
so when you think back on, when you think back on that last relationship that you had that was 3 years long, like you said, you were cutting people off based on like a trauma response. I guess I'm curious on what red flag, or maybe you don't have to go into a trauma, but what are you looking for? Like when you start dating different people that you might have seen from the other guy or guys from the past?
To boil it down to one word would be priorities. I'm a Christian for me. So if a guy doesn't submit to God, I can't submit to you. Because where are you leading me? I can't trust in your ability as a leader if God isn't the head of your life. And that's just me personally. But also, do you prioritize your family? Do you prioritize like your goals and ambition, and what steps are you taking towards those goals or ambition, or are you just talking?
Got you.
Because a lot of men just like to talk. Not all men, but a lot of men.
A lot of them do. It's okay. I definitely,
for sure.
Yeah.
Atlanta dating scene. Absolutely.
Okay, got you. All right. So let's dive into your crazy dating story. What do you have for us today?
So the first time I lived in Atlanta, I moved here in 2020. During the whole pandemic, it was September. And I moved here with my best friend from college. So I met this guy out and about. I never really was big on the dating apps. I no longer do dating apps. I lose interest pretty quickly if I'm not spending like intentional time.
Got you.
I don't want to pen pal. So I ran into him. He was a professional bartender. He did competitions. Like he was, really impressive kind of guy. So when we met, we had a couple drinks and he asked me on a date because we were kind of like feeling the vibe. So I said yes, because I enjoyed speaking to him that night. So we meet up the next week, I think it was, and we're on the Beltline. So we're walking down, we're headed to the restaurant we're going to, and we're walking. It's a nice day. We're feeling the vibe. And we pass by this restaurant, and it's one of those ones with the open doors, like with the open air, and people can just walk in and out. And he recognized a bartender, and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I go say hey?" And I was like, "Oh, no, of course not. Like, go ahead." Yeah. So I was like, okay. So he walks off, says hello. I'm just standing there kind of waiting, like on my phone. And this guy is sitting at this table with these 2 girls, and he calls me over. And I'm really bad with names, but like, I don't think I recognize his face. But I was like, okay, let me see what he wants. So I walk over there, and he was like, "Hey, is that your boyfriend?" And I was like, "No, but we're on a date together." He's like, "Oh, well, forget that dude. Come sit with me."
Oh.
And this whole time, like one girl that's sitting at the table with him is like all smiley and happy and like, "Oh, hey," like blah, blah.
I want you to join the poly family.
And the other girl is staring at me like I kicked her puppy. Like she's giving me the death glare. And to this day, I have no idea who this man was. He seemed like a sports player of some kind. No idea. So I was like, "No, like I'm on a date. I think that'd be pretty rude if I left, but like, I hope y'all have a great day." And he was like, "Okay, cool. If you change your mind, we'll be here." I was like, okay. So by this time, my date is waiting on me. So I walk over to where he is, and he asked me about it, and I tell him, and we laugh about it, and we continue on to dinner. So dinner goes well. The restaurant was super nice. Cocktails were great. And we both kind of weren't ready to stop talking because we really kind of connected.
Yeah.
So he asked if I wanted to go to this bar that's no longer there in downtown Atlanta. And it's a multi-level place. They have like live music at the top. Some people might know it. And so I say, yeah, like, sure, let's go get another couple drinks. So we go there. I had driven there, but I rode with him to the place.
Got you.
So we go there. He goes to the restroom. And when he goes to the restroom, this random man approaches me and was like, oh, like, can I buy you a drink? Blah, blah. I was like, oh, I'm here on a date, but, you know, I appreciate the offer. And he's like, okay, like, cool. He walks off. My date had saw the tail end of the conversation and he was like, oh, like, did you know him? And I was like, oh, no, like, he just asked me if I wanted a drink. And he's like, oh, I see. I can't leave you alone, but we continue to laugh about it.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a big deal yet.
Yeah.
Yet. Foreboding. But we decided to go check out the live music upstairs because there was a singer. So I'm tall. This guy was kind of shorter, just to give you the vibe.
Okay.
So he's maybe, I'm 5'10". He was maybe like 5'7", 5'8".
Got you.
I'm not against dating a short king. Like, as long as you're not insecure, like
it's
I'm
all
cool.
good.
It's
Got
all
you.
good. So we're going upstairs and I'm leading the way.
Mhm.
So you can't really see him behind me on the stairs. And he's a few steps back. And it's not packed, but it's, you know, there's a good amount of people there on a Saturday. So there were these two men at the top, one lighter skinned guy, one darker skinned guy. And the darker skinned guy at the top of the stairs just sees me, doesn't see anyone behind me, and was like, oh, hey, you're really beautiful. And I said, thank you. And he's like, oh, like, you got a man? I was like, well, no, but I'm on a date tonight, blah, blah, blah. He was very respectful. He said, oh, okay. I hope you enjoy your date. I guess at this point, my date was over it, right? So he doesn't even hear the conversation. He just steps up to dude that spoke to me and says like, bro, you didn't see me right here. Like, I've been standing right here the whole time and you're just going to talk to my girl. My girl.
Right.
Who's your girl? This is our first date. But I didn't say anything. And the dark skinned guy was relatively chill about it. Like, oh, she told me about you. I don't know why you're tripping. His light skinned brother in the back was not playing any games. And he's like, oh, why are you going to step to my brother like that? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, getting loud. Next thing I know, they're standing this close together, face to face,
like they about
yelling.
To fight.
And the dark skinned dude was like, I'm so sorry this is happening, but you might want to step. Like, he's worried about protecting me more so than my date is.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And next thing I know, like I said, face to face. And my date was like, get out of my face, bro. Get out of my face, bro. And he was like, what you gonna do about it? So my date pushes the guy. And then he gets punched straight in the face.
So your date punched him in the face?
No, the guy punched my date in the face. My date pushed the guy. That was enough for the guy to like go off. So now they're fighting. We're on the second story of this building. They tussle to the point my date almost goes over the balcony. The only thing that saved my date from going over the balcony was the fact that these girls were smoking a hookah in the corner and their fighting had knocked over the hookah. So the girls jumped up. When the girls jumped up, that saved him from going over the balcony.
Oh my God.
So my date got beat up by this man. And I was shocked. I was like, how are you going to start a fight and then get beat up?
And then get your ass beat.
Yeah. So now security's coming. They're escorting him out. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. We can go somewhere else. I was like, no, this is done. What do you mean somewhere else? I'm not going anywhere else with you. So he got kicked out. And I became friends with the security people. And till they closed, they'd be like, hey, you starting any fights tonight? But it was a time. It was not
So you stayed after
fun.
The dude left?
I did. I had to decompress before I took my Uber to get home. And afterwards, the guy sent me flowers. He apologized, all the things. But I'd hit my limit.
I'd have been done. I know in the past I dealt with a very insecure guy, and he would say stuff like what you just said when he said, oh, I can't leave you alone. That's a red flag for me.
Huge red flag.
Now, okay, yeah. So you stayed for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you end up talking to the dark skin?
I didn't because I was just too overwhelmed at the time, and he was so handsome. He was a very handsome guy, definitely my type. But with all the drama, I just had to kind of like recenter. And he ended up checking on me, and then his brother got kicked out too, obviously. So he went and followed behind him, and I never saw that man again.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so go ahead back into it. Okay, so okay, after thinking of that experience, were there any red flags in the beginning when you were talking to him that probably showed within that day? Did you move too fast? Like, how quick did y'all go out after that first meeting?
The only thing I can really think of is something that's kind of like typical of me because I am a taller woman being 5'10". He was asking a lot of questions about like my height and different things like that. Like, oh, how tall are you? Okay. Like acting like he's cool with it, but being like, oh yeah, do you like to wear heels? Different things like that.
Ooh.
And typically like secure men don't ask me questions like that. The 3-year relationship I was in, he was 5'8" and I was 5'10". It was never a problem for him. Do I prefer taller? Yes, but it's not like an automatic deal breaker for me. So he was asking a lot of questions, but then he said he was fine with it. Because I was like, oh, does that bother you? Oh, no, it's not a problem. It's fine. Oh, but do you usually wear heels on your dates? Like, blah, 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 this, that, and the fifth.
Crazy.
So that was really the only red flag I could think of because it was our first real, like, structured date.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And then I know you said you met him and then y'all went ahead and went on the date. What was the time in between then? And would you still move like that now?
About a week.
Okay, no, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, we chatted between that and we had met in person previously, because we kind of met organically.
Right.
So I would say I would do it again just because I feel like that's the highs and lows and joys and sorrows of dating is sometimes you have a bad first date. And at the time it was very stressful, but now it's a really funny story that I can tell my friends. Yeah. And it was an experience. And I think life is about experiences. So
okay. That dating story was absolutely wild. Okay. So in the beginning, you said that you don't do dating apps, but you're here on the Plan for Keeps podcast. And we also have the Plan for Keeps dating app built around compatibility games and being intentional. Tell me what has you open now to trying a dating app?
Yeah, I think definitely I'm looking for something more intentional. And with the app that you guys have, having it based more on like less on swipe left and swipe right type of transactional thing, I think we kind of have to adapt because this is kind of like the nature of the game nowadays, right? Like with the social media era we're in, and as well, like I'm really busy. So I'm kind of open to like adapting because I really desire partnership. I wouldn't say I'm searching for it because I feel like when you search for something is when you don't find it. But I'm open to it. So I'm like, okay, this seems more intentional, more in alignment with what I want and the way I want to date. So like, let's adapt. Let's be open-minded.
See what's out there. Okay.
Yeah. And you give a good option for people.
Thank you. Yeah, because the Plan for Keeps, we focus on intentionality. So within the app, when you do swipe left, swipe right, but before you message a person, you have to play a game with them within 72 hours. The games that we have are based on attachment theory. We have a love language game in there, a sexual compatibility game in there, and then an emotional intelligence game. So you can tell how you compare to your match. And then if you guys don't play the game within 72 hours, the match disappears. So you have to be intentional on matching and messaging in order to actually find people on the app. So yeah. So yeah.
I'm excited. I look forward to it.
And so what is your type?
Okay. So my typical type, I love a tall, dark, and handsome.
Okay.
I sometimes steer out of that realm because I'm really an intellectual person. I have to have a man that can hold a conversation with me. Those like deep life thoughts. I'm really into social justice, human rights. I work a lot in Black maternal health in particular, like any marginalized communities because my work is like birth work. I work in OBGYN. I'm studying to become a doula.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So I need someone that can hold those deep conversations with me. Like that intellectual connection is everything. Someone that's like emotionally intelligent. I'm very adventurous. I've been skydiving. I've been to several different countries. I love to travel. So that's really important to me. A Christian man is very important to me. Just disclaimer, I am abstinent. So that's a problem for a lot of men these days. And I understand that. I'm very upfront with it. some men say they're okay with it and then try to change my mind.
Yeah, can imagine.
Thinking they have a magical, so that's okay. But I like to be upfront and honest about that because I want people to find what they want. I want to find what I want.
Absolutely.
And I don't think misleading people is the way to do that. Or, okay, like, let him get to know me and then tell him, I don't believe in that. Because what if that's a requirement for them? Like, hey, I appreciate that that's what you want. We're just not a good fit.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Cayla is on the dating app Plan for Keeps. Now we all know what Cayla type is, what she's looking for. She is on the Plan for Keeps app. If you are in the Atlanta area, go ahead and give her a swipe right. Go ahead and play a compatibility game with her and see if you guys align. See you next week.
Dating be a mess, but we still press on, playing for keeps. We telling the truth, y'all. Single, still hopeful. Lesson learned, then we laugh. Crazy stories, real love. Let's get into it.